What is going on, bros? This is me, Matt, BDLM, here with my buddy Jacer, casting the second game in the MSI versus DRzO Omega game. What's going on, Jay?
Not much, man, not much. First game was very caught us off by surprise, I would have to say. MSI just got taken out. They looked really confused all over the place. So, yeah, it was really interesting. And we're going to have to see, I guess, how MSI is going to turn around their lineup. But how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, when you were saying there, I think confused is a really good word for it. It took them a long time to really figure out how they wanted to position their lanes. You know, I don't think they were ready for the 2-mid by any means. So it took them a while to figure out who they actually wanted to get into lane. So it was already 5 minutes in by the time they were situated and ready to actually play. So, you know, after already seeing that out of DRzO Omega, you have to imagine that this time around they're going to be a lot better prepared for something like that. And we'll have to see how they decide to line up at the beginning to perhaps try and prepare for more of the same.
Absolutely. Obviously, as you can see, this went right into all-pick mode. What we're going to have to assume is that they maybe had a banning mode and someone had, you know, an error somewhere. But either way, you know, we're going to see here. So we don't know the bans, but we know the picks here. I'll go down the Druids team. We got Glacius, Zephyr, Slither, Kraken, and Polymorph. So obviously, I said Polymorph, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
I think I done that in the last cast too. It's Polywog Priest. Let's get a little correct.
There you go.
But we see a couple of similar people. What do you think about that Slither Zephyr pickup?
Well, you know, we saw it work so well last game, you know, in part because of the confusion generated by the other team. You know, we see Polywog Priest again. We saw Kraken as well in the last game, not on this team. But on the other side, we have Monkey King, Nymphora, Valkyrie, Demented Shaman, and Magnus. I'm a little giddy with excitement being able to see Trixie play Valkyrie. Something you just see so much before, and it's just so much fun to watch him. One of his two best heroes, I would say, by far. And here we see Demented Shaman lining up to solo top. Very interesting setup here. What do you think about running Demented solo?
I am completely thrown off. I mean, last game we saw Cthulhu Font with Demented Shaman, and that just worked wonders. You know, got that melee in there with that heal. I mean, Demented Shaman works so well, you know, with a lane mate that's melee especially. But at the same time, and I think this might chime in with that Dota kind of strategy where, you know, DRzO, who he's a port of, did a lot of soloing like middle and such, and he's really good at, like, you know, getting the creep kills from, you know, his heal and whatnot. So I think it's going to be interesting, though, especially against a Glacius Kraken. I mean, that's a pretty strong lane in itself.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned that how successful Demented Shaman's Dota counterpart is at soloing. And, you know, every once in a while we'll see a Demented Shaman play solo in a Han match, and she'll do fine, or he'll do fine, but you don't really see it done often, like, in a row. It seems like everybody just goes back to playing Demented Shaman in the duo lane. Here mid, we see that MSI is not going to have the same kind of game as last game. They are going to have two people in the middle here, and then for the Monkey King, he's so strong, having that mana on Monkey King. He's so mana dependent. Here we see a stun put on Slither, taking him down to half health. But it'll be interesting to see if Zephyr and Slither can be as effective in this lane.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, Nymphora, just a really great support that actually gets banned more often than you think. Just because of her stun and heal abilities. Actually, bottom, Magnus goes already for a stun on not Polymorph, but Polywog.
There you go.
You know, so they're already trying to get some nice harassment. That Magnus, you know, Valkyrie combination can be so deadly. Actually, you see this harassment coming from Trixie already. They're going to try to keep him out of this lane as much as possible. But yeah, Magnus lines up that stun, and right after that, you know, it's just a Valkyrie arrow, and the burst damage is so high, she's already dead. So
yeah, chain stuns are going to be, you know, really important in that bottom lane if they're going to expect to hold down that Polywog Priest. We saw last game he was able to solo just fine. We've seen in plenty of other games where he's able to do A-okay. Glacius Kraken, kind of the same thing. They can kind of combo up, you know, get the Glacius root down on Demented Shaman, and then you can have Kraken run Demented into a tree. So it'll be interesting to have there. We're going to be a first blood down the bottom lane. Valkyrie and Magnus able to pick up a kill on that Polywog Priest, obviously probably able to get their two stuns up and really make that lane work, as you can see, much beyond the creeps.
Yeah. Oh, actually, action top now. Glacius hits a frozen. Demented Shaman pulls out a heal. That's not going to be nearly enough. Actually, I take that back. Uses the cloak on himself, survives somehow, and here goes the chase, but they have no mana, so they're not going to be able to finish him off. Excellent job there by Demented Shaman. I thought he was absolutely dead. but it shows how strong Demand Shaman can really be.
Yeah, that cloak is just so good, being able to save people who are just dead to rights. Here we have Kraken trying to get behind with Demented, but he's such low health and no mana. There's nothing that's going to happen here except for harass put on Kraken, who's already in bad shape. Does he have any kind of regen? We don't know, but he almost gets taken out here. Then we see, no, he just has 2 minor totems and a hatchet. He's either going to have to be or have the courier fly him out. Some pods we're seeing in the middle lane. Zephyr getting initiated here. Monkey King jumps in. Gust from Zephyr is able to push them away so that he will survive. Pops the health pot. Slither sticks in, trying to put down some more harass after laying down the slow to help Zephyr get away. And he's going to pop that health pot, come right back to the middle lane, and hopefully the Monkey King Nymphoral group is going to do slightly worse here, come out slightly worse. Hopefully they won't have that regeneration. And for Zephyr's sake, he'll be able to sit in here and get some efficient farm.
Yeah, you know, Zephyr, I mean, that was a really great job of that Gust to survive there, but he's got such a great laning presence because of those Cyclones. I mean, all he has to do is last hit, which, you know, for these pro players is not much of a challenge. And, you know, he builds those up and can heal and just do so much damage, especially to like a Monkey King who has to be in melee range. So, you know, they actually have to be really cautious and can turn around pretty quick on them. I'm going to go over the gold per minute really quickly. So, Valkyrie obviously has a little bit of a lead here due to that first blood. But aside from that, I mean, Zephyr has already a really strong farm. And so, you know, I guess aside from that first blood, it's pretty much even at this point.
Yeah, it's interesting to note there that Monkey King is actually able to keep up with Zephyr. There isn't going to be any, you know, huge swing one way or the other there in that middle lane. Oh, here we have, I'm sorry. Pardon me, Slither looking to go down here to Nymphora and Monkey King. Will he be able to get away? No, the taunt goes out, but the auto attack is not enough. Now Zephyr wants to force the issue. He will Gust kill Nymphora there in the middle lane. He wants to go in here on Monkey King, who still has the dot, who still has the slow, and Zephyr still has those Cyclones up. Will he be able to get the kill? No. The Gust has a really long cooldown. I believe it's something like 14 seconds, so he will not get that back up in time to be able to secure a kill there. And that's top lane we have Kraken sitting there with no health whatsoever. To the Demented Shaman, keeping the lane pushed up and keeping the health and mana up as well. But, you know, when you did have that gold per minute graph up, Demented Shaman was doing quite well, as you were saying, able to farm really well with the heal, and being able to hold down Kraken, who really isn't doing that well. You know, Demented Shaman's about 100 gold higher, even though that Kraken has the support in Glacius. Yeah,
I mean, this kind of actually looks similar to what MSI was struggling with last game, where, except it's a 1 versus 2 instead of a 2 versus 2, but either way, Kraken's struggling with that farm, and he really needs to get that Helmet of Black Bleach. Actually, initiation, Slither taking some damage. Monkey King popped the double damage room, but he couldn't go in time, so the Magnus stun was set up, but it just, you know, they couldn't get to Slither in time.
Yeah, Slither just pops that pot, heads right back to the middle lane. Monkey King is going to look to use this double damage room to ensure some creep kills, but because he's already so hard. Right here in the top lane, Kraken tries again with Glacius. They're trying to get another kill here. Polywall comes in, will do the transmorph. Will it be enough? No, the heal goes off. Does significant damage to all 3 of those heroes. She's going to try and get away. Will she be able to? Will anything be able to hold her in place? No, there is nothing else. We see Polywall only leveling up the Electric Jolt and the Transmorph. He will not be able to tongue-tie Demented and hold her in place. Another failed attempt with 3 heroes this time. And what do you know? Demented Shaman just playing aggressive as ever, healing herself and the creeps up, and just going to keep this lane pushed up.
You know what's interesting is that Polymorph's only level 2. I mean, it's kind of like what that Roaming Thunder was last game. You know, he's not getting the levels, the farm, and Polywog, especially the champion, you need to hit level 6 with. I mean, those wards are just so crucial to setting up ganks and, you know, pushing lanes. And if he's staying down, actually it looks like they're maybe going to switch lanes now. But now, if they do that, I mean, Polly's already 3 levels behind. He's just going to get pushed out of this lane.
Definitely, it's going to be a really hard time here. I mean, Demented Shaman doesn't have the slow, it doesn't have the stun leveled up. So, the poison, pardon me. So, Polywog being a ranged champion, it won't be too hard for him to try and stay alive and secure some farm, but by that same token, Demented Shaman isn't going to have any trouble either trying to keep up the farm. Here it looks like Magnus is coming from behind. Will stun both of them. In comes a 2-second arrow by Valkyrie. Call the Valkyrie will go down, and that is enough of the taunt. Trixie picks up another kill, and now he goes to 2-0. Picking up now the Ring of the Teacher to give himself some mana regen, and also to help give the Magnus some mana regen to keep up that harass bottom.
Yeah, they're going to just keep... I mean, that's such a strong combination, as we said at the beginning of the game. Actually, initiation here on Nymphora takes some damage. Zephyr pops the ult. It's going to be enough damage. Nymphora absolutely goes down. Monkey King tries to finish off Slither, but he's just not going to be able to reach him in time. Now he's on the run. There's a rejuve rune popped from Zephyr. He's going to have full man for this gust. Let's see if he can land it. Monkey King really good at escaping, though. So there he goes, and he gets the double leap, and he's gone. So, you know, at least if there's a positive from that, Monkey King is so agile and ready to get out of those situations.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely a hero that's good at that. He's able to just keep up his farm, and when he gets into a sticky situation, he can just jump out. Kind of like Valkyrie, you know, worst case scenario, you can just leap away if you have that saved up. But, you know, it's one thing we haven't really talked about here is one major difference we see between this and last game is that there's a carry. I don't know, some people don't like calling Valkyrie a hard carry. I've seen enough games with Trixie playing Valkyrie that I would easily consider Trixie on Valkyrie a hard carry. How do you think that's going to play out in this game, having someone that, you know, the Druid Omega is fearful of if it gets to like 30, 40 minutes in?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree with you. I mean, they do have the Zephyr in their lineup, which, of course, is that very tanky carry. But, you know, Valkyrie can just put out so much damage, especially, you know, in this lineup, I think it would make a lot of sense for Valkyrie to go, you know, that Nullifier Blade. And the reason I say that, you look at this lineup, they have Kraken and Zephyr, who are just so starved for mana. Actually, a little bit of initiation here on Zephyr. And it looks like Dimension Shaman ports in, but Monkey King taking so much damage. He gets the cloak at the last second, so he's going to live from that. This Dimension Shaman doing some work, I tell you that much. Use of the ult on these guys. You were pretty impressed by that phrase, weren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Could that be my catchphrase? All right. Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be for nil.
Yeah, I think it's funny when you see that cloak from the Dimension Shaman come out. He's actually getting initiated on here by Zephyr with his ultimate. He's going to look to pursue. Monkey King, though, goes in on Slither, will get the kill there. Zephyr wants to try and make the best of the situation, trying to get the kill, but no, unable to. The cloak, yet again, saving the Dimension Shaman, who will now heal up herself and the creep wave and look to press this tower, but no, Zephyr wants to press this issue some more. He gets taken down, though, by Monkey King, while we also have some action here in the bottom lane. Kraken almost going down. It looks like the Zephyr will just barely survive here in the middle lane, though. He does get away, so it's not 2-0, but he was unable to pick up that kill on the Dimension Shaman, which, you know, they would have liked so much, and still, we do not see that Poison Touch picked up by Dimension Shaman.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I guess now that they've reworked the cloak to be actually like really useful, the Poison Touch is not so much as much of a factor as it used to be, I guess, when he was played back then. But also, you have to keep in mind he was a solo against two people, so unless it was like a one-on-one where Poison Touch, you could, you know, slow the guy down and do a lot of damage and pick him off. 2 vs 1, you've got to just survive. And as we saw in that early gank attempt, he did just that.
Yeah, absolutely, and as we were saying earlier, you know, that heal is so important to keeping up the Dimension Shaman's farm. When we go to look at the gold per minute, we'll have to see how he's continuing to do now. But as we can see, Dimension Shaman has picked up the Ring of Sorcery, going to be able to restore her own mana and mana of her teammates. And we see Valkyrie actually picking up a Glowstone. What do you think about that pickup there, Jay?
I mean, that can go a couple different ways. You know, I was talking about the Diffusal Blade, but also a pretty common thing is to go straight for you know, that slow modifier.
Frostwolf Skull.
Frostwolf Skull, probably in this case, yeah. And that is a part of that. I mean, it could go a couple different ways. Actually missed a kill here. Glacius picks up the kill. Super strong Glacius. It was a combination onto Magnus. I guess he just couldn't get away in time. So, you know, a little light here for Druid at the end of the column.
There you go, yeah. The score is now only 3-3, still in good positioning. It looks like Zephyr will get initiated on here by Monkey King, but he's just going to have to run for his life past this tower. Zephyr wants to try and cut him off here, maybe land a gust. But look at that, Monkey King just jumps out and then gets a heal from the Dimension Shaman. Comes the Valkyrie arrow, unable to land. Monkey King might go down still, yes. He gets denied. Gets denied by Trixie. As Zephyr looks to continue in here on the Dimension Shaman, will he be able to pick up a kill? No, it looks like Trixie will be able to hold him off. The Glacial Downpour used, and Polywog is able to finally take down the Dimension Shaman, who I believe has gone without a death up until this point.
Yeah, that was a lot of good teamwork, a lot of good support coming out from Druids there to port in there. Be aware, actually, Magnus coming in now gets a stun. Valkyrie's a little hurt, a little afraid to go in, but he's saying, you know what, forget it, I'm going to get the kill. Great double hit there. Kraken pops the ult, actually, and there's the hit. He's still alive, though, but there is a Ward of Revelation there, used from earlier in the fight, so he's still going to be seen, and he's going to go down there.
Yeah, I think we kind of had to just rush over it real quick there, but Trixie denied his own teammate who had the dot from Slither. I mean, that's just absolutely amazing play. That's what you get from watching a pro game, being able to realize that while you're in the midst of this team fight, that you have the opportunity to deny your opposing team some gold, takes advantage of it, and there you go, helping further their cause. Zephyr now picks up a Helm of the Black Legion. You know, I'm still thinking about that Glowstone Valkyrie, actually. You know, I saw a game in Dota 2 not too long ago where an anti-mage, who essentially Mage Bane in Heroes of Newerth, if you're not aware of the terminology, was up against a team similar to this where there wasn't really a hard carry. We've already discussed that Zephyr can get really tanky, but he doesn't do dependable damage like Valkyrie can. And so what the Mage Bane, or the anti-mage, wound up doing was built almost completely tanky, because he knew that if the other team dropped all their spells in the first 5 seconds of the game, if he was still alive, or the first 5 seconds of the team fight, if he was still alive coming out of that, then the rest of them were dead, and there was nothing that they were going to be able to do to stop him. So, do you think that that might be part of the reason that this cross is going to pick up? Here we have action in the middle lane, actually, before we talk about that. Zephyr drops the ulti, looking to go in here. The cloak goes out, will get that heal up on Monkey King, he will not go down. They still want to pursue. Ward Trap tried to be placed here on the Menace Shaman, will not happen though. The Ward's looking to harass, and Cora trying to kill them in the top, but will the Menace Shaman go down? No, another heal goes off, but finally the Gust from Zephyr able to clean her up, and the Valkyrie arrow missing there. Now looks like Kraken's going to try and make something happen here with this Magmus. He's still at full health though, he's just now getting help from Glacius. Zephyr coming up, the stun from Magmus, stunning Kraken there to help him maybe get away. The Gush comes out. Will he be able to get out? No, the ulti from Kraken is going to stop that from happening.
Bit overkill, you might say there.
Maybe, perhaps. I mean, you know, here in the middle lane we have Valkyrie almost going down, leaps away. Will that be enough? The stun coming out from Nymphora to make sure that Valkyrie stays alive. Man, you know, yeah, it was a little bit overkill, but, you know, the scores are so close here that you kind of have to try and take advantage of those whenever you can. And you see some talks in all chat about the use of that ulti. What did I ever do to you? But, so there you go, some friendly banter after some awesome play there. A very busy middle lane there.
You know, I honestly think MSI got a little ticked off in that first game, to say the least, by DRzO, because they are playing probably at near the top of their game right now. I mean, we've seen, you know, No Tail on this Dimension Shaman doing some excellent saves, some excellent heals. You know, really been an outstanding player so far in this match. And Trixie, I mean, as you saw in that last one, escaping with, you know, the 10 health or whatever he had left. So, you know, they're really coming out strong here, and although they are down in kills, they still have a golden experience advantage. I guess that would be from pushing those towers.
Yeah, we've seen some tower kills here by MSI. Nothing yet for Druids and Mega. Now, as it looks like MSI looks to push this middle lane with forward Amended Shaman and Valkyrie with Magnus sitting in the background. They almost want them to initiate on them here in the middle lane, so Magnus can come in with his stun. They will not. They're going to stay and wait for additional creeps. All 5 here now grouped up in the middle lane. The Nymphora, the heals are just amazing here for trying to push. The Nymphora pod does damage and also heals. So does the Demented Shaman heal. Oh, in comes Magnus looking to stun the people poured in. Slither now coming in, dropping the ulti, but Glacius goes down. So does Kraken, and they continue to pursue. Zephyr here looks to try and get a kill in the middle, but look again, that cloak's so strong. And will Demented Shaman make it out? No, the wards are enough, as well as the Cyclones from Zephyr. It looks like, oh, now we have Zephyr meeting Valkyrie, the one person that they really want to kill in this MSI team. They walk right past each other in the woods. Will Valkyrie be able to make it out? The stun goes off to try and ensure they'll stay alive, but no, is unable to. The Cyclone will pick up the kill. And it looks like that Monkey King and Nymphora are still interested in pushing this middle lane. They want to try and get that farm off on those polywall boards, which are actually worth quite a lot of money. Monkey King now wants to continue to go in here. No, he will just come down and try and pick up the rune for that bottle of his to make sure he can stay in this lane and continue his farm.
Count the wards with me, Matt. 1, 2, 3. I mean, this just shows how important they're finding this middle lane. I mean, they did already push that first tower in the bottom and top lane, so I guess logically this next one would be the middle one, but they really are just trying to control of it. But Blue actually here, Glacius, he already has a Ward Revelation, I guess, for that Magnus and Valkyrie you know, invisibility. They get the tower without even a fight there at the end. So now they definitely have that. They have a 4,000 gold advantage going into this game.
When comes Magnus trying to land another stun, he will miss. Will they try and turn this around? Slither misses the stun. Oh, here we have, oh, the Kraken ulti doesn't do anything. It accidentally kills an illusion. Not going to do anything for them there. Zephyr got somebody into his grasp. Will he be able to kill him? Nope. Monkey King just jumps out. Glacius will actually wind up going down here. And now we have Zephyr following that all-important Valkyrie, trying to get this kill here. Will Valkyrie gets healed? Will she be able to jump away? No, the Dust going for another kill there. In the back, we have a Magnus ulti drop, trying to get that kill on a Kraken. The stun goes off there. Now looks like Zephyr's in trouble. He's going to have to run for his life. Polywall trying to harass as best he can, but no, too much damage. Stun from Magnus helps ensure the kill there. And 3 for 2, I believe, in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing Trixie kind of messed up there was he used the leap to go in on Glacius. He got the kill right away, but that's his only real saving grace, and once he used that, Zephyr knew he could chase him down and get that easy kill, but because of how that fight turned out, it looks like they're going to put a lot of damage on this middle tower. Probably not be able to take it out due to sort of short 5 times this early in the game, but, you know, they still came out on top. You know, gained some tower damage, so, and you know, they did pick off that all-important Zephyr, who's obviously going to be the one to look out for late game.
Absolutely, yeah, they both kind of were able to kill the carries of the opposite team. You know, the longer this game goes on, the more and more these teams are going to have to rely on Zephyr and Trixie playing the Valkyrie to really carry them through it. You know, I think MSI is really getting what they want here. They want this game to go on a long time. They want Valkyrie, pardon me, to be able to pick up the items in order to be able to put up the damage, to be able to take out the opposite team. The damage that Druids really just don't have. We can see here that MSI is able to keep these lanes pushed up. They're able to get whatever farm they want, relatively unopposed. You know, it's interesting that at this point in the game, a Druids Omega team that's really known for being super aggressive is now pretty much playing on the defensive, off their back heel, just trying to pick up whatever farm they can.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of shows here. Actually, Slither, 19 minutes in the game, just bought boots. I mean, that just shows how much he's struggling to get some items going. Meanwhile, the support on the other side, Nim4 is, you know, got the steam boots with, you know, the power supply, whatever it's called.
Yes, mana battery.
Mana battery, rather. So, you know, and then Magnus, he's got so many items there.
Valkyrie narrowly misses Kraken towards the hate to cut you off, but oh, here we have some more initiation. The Slither ulti does go off, but nobody really in any dire straits except for Magnus, who gets caught here behind the tower. Will they be able to kill him? Yes, Magnus goes down to the Kraken charge into the tree, getting the stun and the extra damage. Will Druids try to push in some more here? They want to. Valkyrie also drop. No one will go down, but oh, Ward Trap placed. And the transmute by Polywall, the ulti drops by Glacius. Not enough to kill Menace though, with that cloak. Will make it out alive for the time being. Zephyr looks to chase down Valkyrie. He's able to get that Valkyrie kill. Now pursuing him 4. Will he be able to get that kill? Is able to dodge the stun, but they don't have any stun themselves to try and stop her from porting out, so she does get away. As we were talking about earlier, that Gust has a really long cooldown, so unable to use it there to stop that port.
Yeah, phenomenal play there by Wizards, actually. Really good defense setup there. Magnus tried to initiate, but, you know, obviously he didn't get the stuns he needed to, and that Tsunami charge, you know, if he does land it into a tree, I believe it does give a mini stun or some stun
yes,
length, something like so. You know, that obviously can be very effective against a really squishy Magnus support. But yeah, I mean, that really went well for them ultimately. Another Kraken ulti, I'd have to say, he's not really placing those in the greatest of places.
No, he's accidentally missed with a couple. You know, I mean, if you really want to nitpick, you can say that Kraken's missed a couple ultis. Valkyrie's missed several arrows that would have really come across and gotten some kills. Here we have Nim4 porting in their buddy Monkey King, and they look to take down the Zephyr. The one person that they really want to try and take out, as I've said multiple times, the Gust, though, ensures that she will stay alive, at least for the time being. The Minute Shaman ulti dropped. It does land on him. He now hopes to port out. Will it be enough? Oh, no, it is not. Chessie does get taken down here, and Valkyrie just looks to pick up the creep kills here in this lane now.
That was a really good catch there, and that's, you know, why teams love Nim4 so much. You know, that port can be so crucial, and you saw Zephyr just try and take that tower, but had to get so aggressive to do it. And, you know, just really got caught out of position because of it.
Definitely, you know, that Nim4 ulti did just recently get nerfed. They did increase the cooldown on it. Finally, Drew was able to pick up their first tower kill here in this middle lane. That will certainly help. But, you know, that Nim4 ulti did just get nerfed because I guess they figured it was too strong, but not big enough of a nerf that, she's not picked anymore, obviously. Pick up here this game helps support that Monkey King in the middle lane.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, you see here, MSI does in fact take their next tower. So now, you know, all they're left with is, you know, 7 towers, I believe it is, total. and one of them's at half health. They really got to do a better job, I think, supporting and defending their towers. I mean, they have the Kraken ult, the Poly Wards, Slither ult. They have a lot of good turtling ultimates. So I'd really like to see them try to defend these towers a little better. I mean, sure, you got Dimension and a couple of high burst damage dealers on the other team, but really, I think the stronger team fight should still go to Druids.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Like you were saying, those ultis are so strong, that whole team, a lot of AoE. The only person there who doesn't have an AoE ulti is Polywall Priest, but we know how strong those wards can be. That's one thing we haven't seen, actually, from Polywall Priest this game, is any success with the ward traps, being able to surround the hero and wards, pretty much ensure a kill. As we see, Zephyr actually picks up a Sword of the High. He will have that point out much slower. We've also seen Trixie picking up the Nullfire Blade. We see Magnus picking up his Portal Key, and I believe Monkey King just finished the Nullstone to help get rid of some of the damage coming from the opposing team. As you see there, looks like Zephyr getting caught out of position here in his own jungle, but he drops the ult to try and take down M4. He wants to try and pick up a kill here. He's just so tanky, but now he gets displaced. He has to eat all of his tornadoes to try. And will he be able to get something? Oh no! Blazius drops his ulti, trying to pick up that kill. Is unable to do it, but it will help pick up his kill here on Valkyrie. Fantastic play there. It looks like Zephyr's going to come in here with his Gust, trying to put Monkey King back, but he's just so elusive. He's going to survive. That Nullstone did go on cooldown. That did help ensure his getaway there. And some of the tools that Druids really want to use to stop Monkey King from getting away are going to get nullified by that Nullstone.
Oh, that was just beautiful. I mean, Monkey King, first of all, that Nymphora escape really caught me by surprise. She must have had 20 health left. She managed to find that spot that wasn't in the Zephyr ultimate and just poured out of there in time. So she survived just by skin of her teeth. And same with Monkey King. They're just so mobile. And like you were saying, with that Nullstone pickup, like right there. Oh, okay, nice initiation. And that's only a 30-second cooldown before it comes off again.
Well, we see it now go down to 15 seconds, so you could say 16 at full duration. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Just being able to overstep her boundaries a little bit more. Here we have another failed ward trap, but will it be enough? We'll have to see this ult from Valkyrie being dropped, and now we look to have some counter initiations. No, they will run away. Those wards are way too strong. They do not want to fight near those. And unfortunately, those wards are placed in such a position that they're not going to do anything except give gold to the opposing team if they want to move over there and farm them.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, Polly blinks in again, goes on Magnus, gets a nice stun out, makes sure pops the ultimate. Kraken's going to have a lot of reduced armor coming up. Here comes the Valkyrie, and then he just melts. And, it really makes a lot of sense. It's always really got to own the Black Legion.
Yeah, definitely. We actually do see, as I'm saying, that those wards are in a position where they won't actually help. They did do a little bit more damage. As we can see, we have people trying to pick off those wards there. The Meneshaman are picking up a couple of wards. They will continue to keep up pressure on this middle lane as we approach the 25-minute mark. We also see the Tablet Command has been picked up on the Meneshaman, a really good support item there. Picked up by her, hoping to put some people in bad positions or hopefully save some of her own teammates. Do you see any other item pickups that really stand out to you?
I mean, I really do like Tablet Command pickup. I was going to call it Codex, which obviously would have been wrong. That would have been actually really interesting for the Codex. But no, Tablet Command, it did receive a little bit of nerfs in recent patches. I believe it's a little bit longer cooldown and a little more mana cost increase, which, it kind of hurts these supports. But at the same time, and actually he's not a support, he's kind of a carry in this game. But it's still such a very useful item, especially against maybe like a Zephyr who's really trying to, chase you down, and you can just dash out of there really quickly in a pinch. So, really useful there, especially, we were actually talking about how this team fight composition, they have so many AoEs that are, dependent on the location, and if you can just tablet someone out of there, that can be really detrimental.
Definitely. I think people learning how to play this game and people who have really come to be good at this game, too, I think the one thing you can guaranteed say about this game in any of its forms, any of the MOBAs, is that positioning is probably by and large the most important thing in this game. Being able to push somebody into a place they don't want to be, or push one of your own teammates, like you were saying, being able to push somebody that maybe wants to drop one of those AoE ultis out of the way so they can't use it effectively. You can potentially use. Here we have MSI going in here on Concord. They're playing weird around. Looks like they know when Druids are going to try and get them. Druids don't have any sight around the area, though, so they have no idea this is going on. There's no movement by them, as Concord is already at half health. Valkyrie able to throw in a 5-second stun there. We'll have to see who picks up the tank? Do you have any guesses?
That's going to be Monkey King. And the reason I say that is because he is just so, he really does start a lot of these fights. He gets in there right in your face, with the stuns and the flicks and whatever it's called. But, ultimately he does a lot of damage, and so, sure enough, he does pick it up. And then, you add to that the Demand Shaman Cloak, and he's never going to die.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a ton of survivability, and on top of that, we have the Demented Shaman heal and the Nymphora heal.
Oh gosh.
There's just a ton of support here on this team. It is really well-devised team, that's for sure. Here we have Valkyrie now picking up the Ultimate Orb that's surely going to go towards the Skull, as we were saying earlier, making her a little bit more tanky, being able to apply the slow. Just a really all-around good item to pick up for Valkyrie.
Yeah, he's going to need that slow against Zephyr. I mean, one of Zephyr's kind of weaknesses is his lack of mobility. I mean, he does have that gust, which brings the enemies towards you, and then that shield he generates does give that movement speed increase. Besides that, he can be kited all day, especially with a nice, Frostwolf Skull and stun and slow composition that this team really does have. It actually looks like they were thinking about pushing this here, but they're going to back off after that Advanced Shaman ulti. I mean, you can just see the armor starting to melt on these champions. You don't want to start a fight with minus 10 armor.
Yeah, right now we can see minus 11, minus 12 on, so they're continuing to go down. But here comes some initiation by MSI. The Ward Trap finally plays. There we go, but Magnus will blink in with the ulti. He's hoping to hit a couple people, and he takes them out. He is able to, Magnus is able to get away there. But we have a continued fight. The Kraken ulti drops, unable to get any kills. The Ward's trying to do some work. They do finally kill that Magnus, but look at his mobile. He's running around. He isn't afraid. He has that ank, and he is so super mobile here that he's just going to be able to run around as he pleases. Only a 1-for-1 it looks like. Pretty amazing there, considering the Demented Shaman ulti was down. But here we have Druids. They look to continue to go in. Will this be good or bad decision? We'll find out.
It was a neutral decision. It was a beige decision.
Very beige. Luckily, no one is taken out, even though both teams really did look like they wanted to try and start something there. But they decided against it, just leave it as a beige outcome and move back into farming. And 17-16, the kills in this game have been just back and forth. We've seen only, I think, maybe a 3-kill lead by any team at one point, max. Very close game, very entertaining. I'm definitely glad we got to cast this one, Jacer.
Jaster. J.
J4Y.
Thank you.
J.
Either way,
Apologies.
it's good. Nymph actually looking to ultimate by herself. Looking to set up something up polymorph. Probably not going to end up doing anything. Maybe she was like, hey Magnus, want to come along? He's like, nah, I'm good. That was the end of that one.
I don't want any of your candy, Nymphora. I'm gonna go continue off on this school.
Okay, so before I get into this team fight, I kind of just want to throw out there, in a recent patch, Demand Shaman ult, as well as other spells, don't affect him anymore.
Kongor,
yes. And that actually, it does help, or not help, but rather goes against the, some common strategies, some really good Kongor killing strategies. They were still able to burn it down really quickly, but, imagine if that Demand Shaman also was on top of that.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Druids had plenty of time, but they just lacked all the vision. By the time they might have even wanted to start looking, because all of a sudden, hey, where's MSI? It was already dead. There's a good amount of damage on that team, able to really take care of that Kongor. We see Valkyrie actually picks up a second Nullfire Blade recipe, which increases the amount of it has, increases the amount of agility, and also makes it so that the slow purge charges never run out. The blade actually starts with 8, I believe. Now it's just infinite. She can slow as she pleases. Luckily, there aren't really any buffs on the other team that they have to shed a tear over, randomly disappearing. But the slow is going to be huge. On top of the Frostwolf Skull, which is also going to be applying a slow when Valkyrie does get around to finishing that.
She's a slow machine. I tell you that much. But I kind of want to mention, hopefully before action breaks out here, which it might, Slither and Glacius doing an excellent job with this vision detection. I saw right in the beginning of that, I believe Glacius dropped that detection blue ward, and was able to see after Valkyrie ulted. And then Slither carrying around dust at all times, so they're ready for this Magnus and Valkyrie initiations.
Yeah, they're just looking for opportunities to initiate here. While you were talking about that, we saw Demented Shaman just Tablet Command pushed herself into Nymphora's ulti to try and push this top lane. They were trying to gank that polywall because he did get away though. No problem. They really want to catch one person off guard, be able to take them out, and then push a lane, which is a really common strategy, but one that's just really strong. If you can just try and find an opportunity, try and get the other team to make a mistake, pick one of them off, it's all of a sudden 4 versus 5, and you're at an advantage, and you can maybe get a tower kill out of it.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see here, MSI still has plenty of towers, 9 of them actually. So, including a top one that's at pretty much full health. So, you think Druids are gonna start plotting to, get these towers down to maybe shift their advantage a little back in their favor. Right now they're down by 8,800 gold and about 6,000 experience. So they got some catching up to do, but that really one team fight will definitely shift at least the experience, if not most of that gold change.
Yeah, definitely. I have to say, if we have the items open here again, I think it's really interesting when you look at the boots that Kraken has. He has plated greaves used for pushing towers, being able to boost the ability of the mobs around him to be able to push towers. What? I don't really understand that choice there. Is in a lane that wasn't really able to push, and now his team doesn't really look to push. Perhaps they just wanted to have it there when they finally go to push base towers. Seems like a really strange pickup to me. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, what I think is there's going to be some initiation bottom. Here comes at least 4 of them. Valkyrie does land a nice arrow. She's going to probably leap over this tree. Magnus getting a little caught. Actually, really great steam out there, and the portal key out. He's going to survive. Amazing play there. Meanwhile, Glacier's getting caught out by the Valkyrie. Drops the ult, is trying to survive. Not going to, though. Valkyrie needs to jet on out of there as quick as possible. In the meantime, Monkey King actually did drop that top tower, so now they're down to 5 towers, and they're not going to even get a kill for it.
Yeah, Monkey King there picking up the gold for his shrunken head. Yeah, poor Glacius, he was like, wait a minute, they buffed this ultimate, let's see what it does! Unfortunately, not enough to pick up the kill there on Valkyrie. It was able to do a fantastic amount of damage. Here we have Monkey King getting initiated in on here, but he just jumps away, and it's not even a deal. He does have his ultimate Nimbus, so he can run away if he wants to, but he just gets the shrunken head flown out to him, and he's going to continue to persist and keep up with his team and try and make something happen here. If it looks like they want to try and set something up, we'll have to see what they make of it.
Yeah, I also want to point out that Demand Shaman has picked up Astrolabe, so now it's just a team fighting or a business, if you will. Has the win. So the actually initiation here, Magnus goes in, but then the Valkyrie ulti, it looks like they were a little miscommunication, but actually a purge comes from the Fusel Blade, so they're absolutely going to go down here. Monkey King was going in full blast, but can't follow up, so it's really a 2 for no trade. They're probably going to look to push something.
Definitely, yeah. The poor Slither still doesn't really have any item to speak of. Not really that difficult a target to pick up. Zephyr now looks to try and run for his life as Magnus is able to blink in, put down a stun. Valkyrie comes in, puts the purge. There's no running away from that purge. That's for sure. The 5 of them now shift up to this top lane. Their biggest threat is taken out, so they're just going to look to push us into the base.
Yeah, phenomenal play there, and I mean they really are working in synergy with one another. Setting up this Magnus stun, the Valkyrie arrows, it's just really impressive. You can see Magnus actually off to the side here. He's got that portal key, and I believe his ultimate is up. So he might be looking to set something up here if they group up a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah, see, Slither doing a really good job there. There's something talking about. This is definitely professional play with some of the different things we've seen the players do. Is aware that Magnus might be trying to lurk there, throws the ward over into the woods there to try and make sure that there isn't anything that's going to sneak in and drop a significant amount of damage. Team looks to push out here after denying the top tower, something you never want to have to do, but unfortunately they're forced to. We can see now a 16,000 gold lead for MSI. And it really shows. Just look around at the items we were just saying earlier. Slither, now the proud owner of a bracelet.
Yes.
Able to get some stats. Oh, look at this guy. Mana battery. Money bags over here.
All investments pay off.
Oh, yeah. Versus the Nymphora, who is holding onto a bound eye with only 1,000 health. Not that hard of a target to take out, but they're not even afraid of losing that. As well as a tablet of command, so the farm for the opposing support is much greater.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. They do actually get a tower kill against MSI. That's the 3rd one of the game. And now they're looking to keep pushing here. And Demand Shaman already used that ulti. Only affects a couple of them, but Zephyr included, which is probably the most important. They actually drop a Ward of Revelation. They're a little afraid to get initiated on here. Maybe actually baiting it out a little bit. Valkyrie doesn't want to run too much to the right. Actually, they have that bound eye. I completely forgot to mention that. Magnus goes in with the ulti, catches 3 of them. Amazing damage. Little how does he just gonna do? hardly any damage. Sunken head pop, and here we go. Another Kraken ult that doesn't really do a whole lot. Kraken's going to go down here as well. And all it's left is Zephyr. He's going to try to pour out here last second, and he does not get away with it. So that is a 5 for no trade.
Yes, defeat. The GGs go out after the genocide. This is the first time in the game we've really seen a swing one way or the other. Just before that team fight, it was 17 to 20, just so you can appreciate how close that game really was. And you know, they were just able to go in there with superior initiation, able to clear out the wards that really would have put a stop to them potentially. Great play from both teams. Thanks for tuning in and watching another broadcast, guys. Hope to be able to deliver some more to you.